Good morning for Friday, January the 17th. This is Overheard Overnight, and I'm Chris Morales. Three stories I've kind of been following and or overheard recently, and two of them second to kind of merge, and you'll see why as we get into them. The first one, though, is called Parking Lot Karma. Happened to me recently in a parking lot one afternoon as I was trying to drop off some used items at the local value village. Backing into the parking spot, which is what I'd like to do. It's an easier way to get out, right? Lady pulls in behind me as I'm turning in, as I'm backing in, and without so much as a whisper, just pulled straight in behind me. I had to slam on the brakes so that I didn't run into her. At that point, I'm fuming. I'm sure you've all had that experience, right? I wind down my window, but in a very calm voice, not sure which Chris this was, I just shouted out, "Excuse me, I was backing into that spot." She turns, she looks at me, not a word, turned back, closed her door, took her stuff out, and put it in the bin. At this point, I've got options, right? First one, I'm blocking traffic. So let me at least be decent to the people around me and behind me. So I wind my window up and I move around. I circled the parking spot, came back, of course, she's gone. At this point, I do my business, get out of there. Thinking to myself, well, that's an episode. Chris, it's gone. Uh, Move on. However, karma, and it's a B, caught up with her. I'm pulling out of the parking lot, the parking lot, turning right. She's turning left towards the traffic light, and I see her stuck behind a transport truck in the middle of the road, and people are honking at her. Yeah, karma sure gets you. My second two stories, I'll start with the first one first, of course. Was triggered by a bumper sticker I saw in a car in Toronto, and it said, "I like Trump." I mean, I shook my head. I thought, where am I and when am I? This is Canada, Toronto. Why am I seeing a bumper sticker that says, "I like Trump"? I'm still struggling with it, but here's kind of my interpretation of what I think that all means. Um, there's a situation south of the border that really doesn't affect us directly, right? Other than if we decide to retaliate with our own tariffs after the bullying that's going on. And that was the key word that got me started thinking about this. It's a bully strategy. It's bully tactics. The person who put that on their vehicle in Toronto obviously likes what Trump stands for. Now, that I don't understand. However, I do understand bullies. And bullies simply, there's only one way to deal with them, and that's to take them out. There's no negotiation, there's no rationalizing, there's no reasoning. If you're in a battle with a bully, that's all that you have available to you as a strategy and as tactics. Take them out. So, kind of that story merges into the next story. And what happens next week in America on the 20th when they inaugurate this guy for the second time? Um, and I don't understand it, but I thank you, America, for bringing it forward so dramatically. And I guess the word that stands out most for me as I think through this and what's going to happen next week is I'm disappointed. I, I I'm disappointed in what America has decided to do. And let's be clear, they have made a decision. And the decision is to wipe out all of that. Maybe it's just Hollywood hype, but all of that situation, an issue and images around America the Great and America the Good. No, basically, what we're seeing now is that you're bullies, you're misogynist, you're racist. Rich old white guys, billionaires run the country anyway, and you've made it very clear that that's what you're standing up for. You know, the biggest, I want to say, not threat, um, but activity that ever happened to me as a kid happened with my grandmother when she was trying to discipline me. I guess that's the word. Trying to, inflict discipline on me as a kid. And the word she said after I had done something particularly silly at 9 years old was, "Chris, I'm disappointed." And I guess that's the word I'd use to describe my feelings towards what's going on in America and what will happen next week. I'm disappointed, America. I'm disappointed that you've chosen this particular path down which you want to go. I'm hoping this is not the end of the empire, but I've got to tell you, from sitting outside and doing all the reading of history, it sure looks like that. Until next time, I'm Chris Morales.